All right, hello. Let's see. I believe I'm on. Let's make sure. All right, I think I see people. Hey, what's up? All right, cool. So I guess I am live with this public AMA with Ask A Libertarian. All right, cool. I am live and I'm on. So welcome everyone. We'll let people come on in and get settled. I have a feeling it's going to be quite the adventure. So definitely strap yourselves in for the ride. Let's see. Alright. It's been a hot day, so if I'm sweaty on camera, don't mind me now. Get situated here. How's the sign? Y'all can see that? It's Wildstar for governor. Alright, everyone. Well, thanks for joining in, and thank you to Ask A Libertarian for inviting me to this AMA, and I definitely support all of you out there. If you haven't already, to be sure to like the Ask A Libertarian page, and be sure to, of course, like my page, my Nickolas Wildstar for California Governor page. Please be sure to, let's see, oh, the sign is backwards? Oh, crap. I think that's because of my phone. So because I'm using the phone camera, it says the front phone, it says Governor Nickolas Wildstar. I just realized that. So you may have to watch this video in the mirror to get a clear picture. Should be fun. And just for all of you out there, just so you know, I have been doing my own Ask Me Anything series. Being inspired by Ask A Libertarian, I've started doing my own Q&A with Wildstar series, excuse me, which you can find on my Facebook and YouTube page. So please again be sure to like my Nickolas Wildstar Governor campaign page, as well as be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find that as Governor Wildstar, and definitely follow me on Twitter also. You can go to Twitter and find me at The Real Q Ball. That's TheRealQBALL. So please be sure to get involved into the social media scene and help me spread the word about my campaign, and just stay in the loop on what's going on. All right. Excuse me, my throat is a bit hoarse. I caught a bit of that flu bug that's been going around, so my throat has been extremely itchy. So if I happen to grab that water bottle here and there, don't mind me now. Well, I do have notes here that I'd like to go through for an intro to get this thing kicked off here. Excuse me. Let's see. All right, so let's get this thing started here. First, I'd like to thank you all for joining in with me here today, and happy MLK Day to all of you. Happy holiday. It is Martin Luther King Day, so I hope you're celebrating out there in the name of freedom, liberty, and justice for all. And I would like to, of course, again, thank Ask A Libertarian for allowing me the opportunity to do this public AMA with everyone out there. And thank you all again for tuning in, seeing as, you know, the internet is currently due to the suspension of net neutrality. So it's good that you're watching me right now, hopefully for free. I would like to definitely keep the internet that way, and since this is the best source of free press that we the people are able to have access to without having to pay exorbitant amounts of money just to get some exposure. The social media and the internet is powerful. Something can become viral overnight, and what one person sees, a million people can see. So it has the chance of getting a message out there far and wide into every corner of the earth. So definitely take advantage of this time here in our history, and I thank you for being a part of history and tuning in to this AMA and being a part of my Wildstar for Governor campaign. My name is Nickolas Wildstar. I'm a Libertarian candidate running for California governor, and excuse me, I've been a member of the Libertarian Party for a little over a year now, and I'm excited about having the chance to strengthen liberty in the state. It seems as if here in the state of California, our liberties and freedoms are under constant threat, as they are throughout the entire country. And with the increasing poverty level in the state of California, it's definitely imperative that we get someone into office that's going to protect we the people. So again, I'm just looking forward to having the opportunity to spread the message of liberty to each and every one out there. And with our country being founded on that principle, it's a bit shaming that our two-party system tends to ignore that simple principle of liberty, respecting our freedoms, respecting our choices. And on the left, we the people are forced through taxation to pay for social welfare programs and have our natural right to protect ourselves be put under threat with violence. And on the right, we the people are forced to give up our natural rights to choose what we can do to ourselves, whether it be abortion or smoking a joint. Both sides want we the people to be convinced that this compromise of our liberties is needed to maintain our safety and security, when logic and history teaches us that this is far from being true at all. I mean, think about any time of rebellion in history. It's always been due to a restriction of an individual's freedom and liberty. So here we are again facing that same pivotal moment in our time in history, and I feel like in order to avoid any type of violent revolution, the best way to do it civilly would be to get involved politically, which is why I'm getting involved politically. And I hope that you will be too. So I'm happy to have finally found a party that I agree with when it comes to logic. I mean, even us as individuals growing up, I'm pretty sure you had moments with your parents where they told you not to do something and you did it anyway. And for those parents out there, I'm sure you have children where you tell them to do something and they do it anyway. So attempting to control the individual definitely has massive repercussions, not only psychological but physical. And it's not only one that affects that person, but it affects everyone around them as well. And if we are to end up being productive members of society, we need to start focusing on the principles and values that enrich us as individuals. So as a person, a voter here in America, having to choose between the Republican and Democratic Party since voting age of 18, I battled choosing between the two, and have had voted Republican in the past as well as Democrat. But it wasn't until I discovered the Libertarian Party where I felt at home and felt at liberty to express myself. So a little bit about myself. I ran for governor of California back in 2014, and I ran as an independent, but ended up landing in second to last, opposed to where this time I'm hoping to end up second to first, if not first at all. So we can definitely have an opportunity to take this election and steal an election, since the Republicans are extremely unfavorable and the Democrats in the state of California are pretty much at the end of their thread with people's desire for them and their control. And with the top two candidates being both Democrats, it's a possibility that that vote could be split between the two. So it's imperative for a third-party candidate to come in and display that different choice and opportunity for us to select differently, opposed to the two that they're going to be jamming down our throats. I've also been involved as a human rights activist. I've protested against civil rights abuses. I've protested against police abuse and killings of unarmed civilians and citizens. I've protested against Monsanto, the genetically modified seed manufacturing company, and Roundup, insecticide creator, and Agent Orange. And I've protested against them. I've also been involved in many anonymous protests, wearing my God mask, and a lot of people have found me to be identified through that and call me Governor Wildstar. So I've created an identity and made an identity out of the anonymous movement as the activist Governor Wildstar. And I'm also known as Cue Ball, the rap artist extraordinaire. I have music that's my first album, The Real, can be heard on Pandora, Apple iTunes, Spotify. I have a song featured in Scary Movie 4, which leads me to make a very special announcement. I will be releasing a new album soon. It will be on this Thursday, 1/18/2018. So mark your calendars, 1/18/2018, Cue Ball. We'll be dropping the new album. And I do have one of my songs out there as a sneak peek. It's called Vote Libertarian. It's on my SoundCloud page. So if you look up Cue Ball, the trilogy on SoundCloud, Vote Libertarian, that is me. I actually just released a new video snippet to promote my album, which I hope to expand my name to far and wide so more people know about me, myself, and my campaign for governor. So please be sure to visit my YouTube page. I just released the video snippet today for What Would You Do? It's going to be one of the songs featured on my album. So if you want to see a clip of the music video soon to come, be sure to visit my YouTube page today. That again is Governor Wildstar. So with me being involved in music, it's gotten me very comfortable with being with people, speaking to them, as well as relating to them. It's developed my character tremendously. I feel as if it's helped me develop a skill of being commanding. When you're up there on stage performing, you have to demand the attention of your audience, and I feel as if that's one of the greatest features that adds to my attractability when it comes to being a candidate running for governor. And it also has made me more dignified. I'm definitely one of those individuals that have a strong character and am extremely opinionated, sometimes too much so. And a very passionate person. Being a musician, a rap artist especially, I was that vocal speaker and orator for the problems people in the streets would be dealing with. So this made me more aware of my surroundings, social problems, etc. So this definitely made me again feel more in tune with the people, since I was being a representative of those people. So these are a few of the qualities that I feel like add to my leadership capabilities, and is more so the reason why I'm running for office. I saw there being a lack of leadership in our government, especially when it came to our politicians. They seem to lack integrity and honor, and those are values that I hope to reinstate to the position of public representative and being a politician and representing the people. These are skills that definitely will make me a better leader than most of those that you have come across thus far. I learned a lot from Dr. Ron Paul, during the Ron Paul Revolution when he ran for president, first in 2008 and then again in 2012. I jumped in there around 2010, and I was a little late, but I'm very fortunate to have come across him because he opened my eyes greatly to the problems, real problems that affects each and every one of us. And excuse me. And I'm glad to have had an opportunity to have learned from him, and am acting on his call to action, which was to say those champions of liberty out there that want to get involved and want to change policy, to get involved in politics and run for office. So when he called me out on that challenge, I pretty much stepped up to the plate, and which is why I ran for governor in 2014 and why I'm still running for office to this day. I definitely feel as if I have a greater opportunity to change those issues, again, that affects the most of us. And I know that it's definitely a long shot that I would win an election, with me being a libertarian on one hand and then with me being black on the other. And you come to and ta-da. But I believe in miracles, and anything can definitely happen. And people love the underdog. They love rooting for them. So I'm hoping that they will definitely vote libertarian, root for the underdog in 2018. And they also love a Cinderella story. This is California's greatest opportunity to make the most wonderful Cinderella story ever told. And that's taking our state and turning it from red or blue and making it yellow and gold. And I would definitely love to make California gold for the first time, and hopefully for the last. And it's crazy because with me having gotten involved with the Libertarian Party and being black, a lot of the people involved in the party, they're white majority, and have been extremely inviting to me. And one of the things that I am asked, candidly, is how am I going to be able to pull in people of color? And I let them know that is one of the things that I will be advocating most and will be doing my best to do, is to reach out to those people in the inner city and help them grow, help them become greater characters, help them become more responsible, help them become more productive members of society. And this has often been identified as the Black agenda, which I am proud to support. And I feel as if any candidate that's out there promoting the Black agenda is definitely someone that's going to be beneficial to us all. I mean, focusing on that agenda as a candidate, I've learned that that's something that the majority of people can relate to, especially those of the lower class and middle class and those people struggling. And the Washington Post even deemed the Black agenda as being the American agenda. So it more so revolves around a few things, which starts first with focusing on what is supposed to be the role of the government. And that definitely is supposed to be a humanitarian effort for us to help those people in our community in need. That's what it started as, is an idea for our community to be built up to where we have a stronger country, a stronger nation because of that, and a stronger citizenry. And the only way to do that is with equality. The only way to do that is with peace. And the only way to do that is with respect for one another. So helping out those people in our community that are suffering from disproportionate issues, such as those low-income families, again, having the opportunity to strengthen and grow and become a middle-class family. The Libertarian Party is a great platform for that, and a great step up for those lower-income people to, again, have more opportunities. Also, when it comes to educational and housing and employment disparities, it's definitely more leaning towards discriminatory type of responses, especially when it comes towards people of color being able to have opportunities to certain jobs or certain educational opportunities. So the Libertarian Party, again, a libertarian would even that platform and playing field. Also, with our justice system, it's extremely one-sided, and it definitely promotes prejudice, especially with the racial profiling, this being a practice of sorts for police. It's definitely something that could be corrected with a libertarian, especially since the goal of a libertarian, especially myself, is to have our elected officials be held accountable and uphold the United States Constitution, which is the oath of honor that they take when taking office. So when it comes to me speaking about equality, this doesn't mean equal opportunity for all. Or just because it is equal opportunity for all doesn't mean it amounts to equal outcome for all. So that's the big misunderstanding, is people think because it's an equal opportunity that everybody ends up needing to be equal in the end. That's not true. It all will depend on you and your own personal efforts to get there. That's what it depends on. That's what should dictate your success in life. So promoting that idea that we all need to step up to the plate to be more responsive individuals and take away those blockades, those political blockades that prevent the individual from growing, would definitely allow the opportunity for those people that are considered to be minorities to grow and develop and strengthen themselves. So the main thing that we want to do is make the American dream accessible for all. If we're here in this country and we're working hard, we're paying our bills, we're doing our best to build a family respectfully and peacefully, that we need to have our rights and liberties as human beings respected and protected. And that, again, needs to be the role of our government. Excuse me. So I'm letting everyone out there know that in order for me to get into office, I don't need $1 million in order to win. I just need 1 million votes. My opponents easily have about $30 million plus, I don't even know, just to run. And those were numbers that I ended up finding out from back in September. So imagine how much they have to play with now. So I just need to win over one voter at a time. Each and every one of you out there, if you can spread the word to your friends and family and strangers, just to anyone, about me and my campaign, we can definitely just have an opportunity to reach them, have them lend us an ear and hear us out and what we have to offer. Excuse me, this throat is killing me. So I'm again just asking you all to ride with me, come together, help me spread this message out there. I'm looking for people to help sign my petition. I am in need of signatures right now to get onto the ballot instead of paying the $4,000 filing fee that they're charging candidates. So I'm in need of people throughout the state to help circulate those petitions for me. I'm also in need of people to donate right now. I am asking for people to donate $5 a month. You'll get a bumper sticker. And if you donate $10 a month, I'll send you one of these signs. And if you take my Wildstar challenge and donate $18 a month, then I will autograph both the sign and the bumper sticker, and I'll send them both to you. So please just definitely give whatever you can. Every little bit helps, even if it isn't monthly and it is a one-time donation. I will still honor sending you out that bumper sticker and or sign. So please be sure to give whatever you can today. I'm also in need of staffers. So if you'd like to get involved into the campaign, and this is a job, all of the libertarians involved in the state party are volunteers. We're not paid. Unlike the Republican and Democratic party, they have millions to spend on their grassroots efforts to get their candidates' names out there. And we simply just do not have that capital. So it is up to each and every individual candidate to do the fundraising themselves. I am in need of a fundraising manager. As much as I don't mind asking people for money, I would love to have somebody else do it for me so I could focus on the other things that I need to build my policy. I'm also in need of a policy coordinator, and I'm also in need of a full-time campaign manager. Right now I have a campaign management team where we're developing campaign managers in each county, and am still in need of someone to oversee the entire operation for me. So if you'd like to get involved with the campaign, please visit my website, wildstar2018.com. Be sure to send me an email under the contact there, and just let me know how you can get involved, even if it's just out there talking to people and letting them know. Excuse me. So this is definitely the time for us to get out there and spread the wildfire of liberty, and we can do this by spreading the name of Wildstar and hopefully getting me into office. I ask you all to find out more about me and what I have to offer for the state of California. I see those questions going up, so I'm almost there. But I just ask you all to please get involved with the campaign any way that you can. Help me bring back liberty to the state of California. Turn it gold for once and for all. And just implore everyone that you know to vote Libertarian for once in their lives. Have an opportunity to see a political team, a political environment and government that's founded on the principle of liberty, and actually see that in action and play. So please again ask everyone to vote Libertarian, and just be sure to vote Wildstar for governor in 2018. The June 5th primary is right around the corner and creeping up quick, so we must galvanize and get together to help get this message of liberty out there. And I would love to have an opportunity to be the representative for the governor of California for the Libertarian Party. So all of you people out there that are members, be sure to attend the convention on April 27th through 29th, where they'll be electing candidates for office, and we'll be taking nominations. So I would love to win that nomination. So definitely be sure to register today. The deadline cutoff is the 27th of this month. So you must register now, and be sure to again be at the convention in April and vote Wildstar for governor. So I think I've ranted enough. And now time for the fun part. Let's answer some questions. See what we got here. Okay. I'm gonna drink a little water before we do this. Put this here. Excuse me. All right. I think I got one from Matt Wavley. I may be butchering that last name. I apologize out there, Matt. But Matt asks, what limits on gun ownership do you agree with? Convicted felons, waiting periods, criminal background checks, denied for drug users? Should gun owners be vetted by state of California before being permitted to purchase? Do you stand behind a permit system or the idea of constitutional carry, open or concealed permitless carry? I agree with the Constitution and believe your right to protect yourself shall not be infringed. Not only would that include guns, that would include any futuristic weapons that's being developed, like lasers, or any other futuristic weaponry that we have right now, like 3D printed guns. I mean, think about that. If you were restricted on every possible way that you'd be able to protect yourself, but yet the people that we're delegating these responsibilities to protect us have all the weaponry, whatever were to happen if they were to become radical or infringe on our liberties, what would we do in order to protect ourselves? And I definitely would not do anything to infringe any individual's right, natural right, to protect themselves, and would veto any type of proposal that would be delivered to me with regards to any restrictions on a person's rights to do so. We do have existing laws with regards to felons being able to carry a weapon. It depends. Our justice system is flawed. You know how many felons aren't really harmful people at all. I've met some people that have been called felons, and they're wonderful people. They have families, they have children, they love them. These are very loving people. But yet, if they live in a neighborhood where they're unable to protect themselves from an outside threat, that disables them from having an opportunity to protect their family. And we shouldn't be denying that right to anyone, despite what our own opinion may be. I believe our government has gotten out of control with this dictatorial practices, opposed to upholding the United States Constitution and being the republic that we are, the constitutional republic. So this is the fine line in the sand that we need to have drawn again, and let people know that there will be no encroachment beyond this line. I definitely support an open carry type of atmosphere for the state of California. I would feel more secure walking into a place where there's an individual that, is armed. I have to feel that way when I go somewhere and a police officer is there. But I question that individual because sometimes he may have, ulterior motives, depending on his own, opinion of me or someone else. So we're putting weapons into people's hands. And just because we can't expect them to be responsible, and we shouldn't be having any restrictions on law-abiding citizens for their lawful right to protect themselves, just because someone else who may be a criminal may not do so. A criminal isn't going to respect any laws or rights or don't care at all. They're going to obtain a weapon any way that they can. They're going to harm someone any way that they can. Again, whether it be with a gun, a knife, or whatever the case may be. So I am pro Second Amendment and I'm pro Constitution, period. I'll go on to the next question if I may. Let's see. That's a good one. Johnny Ordeville, Johnny Ordell. What is the first thing from Governor Brown that you will reverse? Governor Brown imposed an executive order, because governors of the state can't do that. In the state of California, they can. Governor Brown executed an executive order restricting the amount of water usage in the state. This has disabled the people in the part of our state that need that water the most in order to grow food. We need the food, so we shouldn't be compromising the amount of water usage that those farmers are using in order to provide food for ourselves and for the rest of the country. California provides over 50% of the food for the entire nation. Okay? This includes berries and fruits and nuts, and we're the 90% of the world's almonds come from California. The world, okay? Avocados. So we just need to open up the market and allow these businesses to be able to flourish and do what they need to do. And any restriction of that is going to impede our growth as a community, as well as our economical development as well. So I would definitely repeal that executive order, and excuse me, especially seeing as our state has had a record amount of water fall. We also can desalinize the ocean water. There's many ways that we can get more water into the state, so where we won't ever have to deal with the drought anymore. And that would be a great opportunity for those businesses, again, to be able to grow and develop. I'll move along since my time is running here. From a Miss Alice, it says, do you have a proposal for modifying the welfare system? Absolutely. Our welfare system is horrible. I'll tell you a quick story. I am a child that was grown up on welfare. My mother was a welfare recipient. I'm one of 4 children, and she was receiving welfare, income during my childhood, during my siblings' childhood, all the way up until we all became adults. Now that we all are adults, she's working harder than she ever worked before. And it's awful because I would love to have had my mother have had the opportunity to save and, enjoy her time right now as she's older to, be retired and live comfortably. But she just didn't have that work ethic that she needed then, that she does now then. So it's a matter of enabling those people that don't want to help themselves. So I would definitely reform that welfare system to where we're not paying for someone's child their responsibility for 18 years. I think something more reasonable, like 1 to 5 years, is something that's more acceptable. I mean, I, as a taxpayer, I wouldn't mind helping out a mother or a single parent in need that may need a helping hand within that first year, or again, depending on their case or situation, may need 5 years to recuperate. So those people do need a helping hand. But again, at the same time, within that time limit, they're given an opportunity, and they know that once it's cut off, you need to be on your own. You need to be responsible, and you need to take care of your own responsibilities. So with our welfare system, that's definitely a way that it needs to be reformed. And I think that would also take away from the attraction that people feel as if invites a lot of illegal, or I don't want to even say illegal, undocumented citizens into our state to want to live comfortably off of the taxpayer. So this would remove those seeds of, again, comfortability that allows the individual to just sit pretty for no reason. We need to all be working hard, we need to all be contributing, and we need to all make things better for each other if we want to live in an environment where we are able to relax and live more peacefully. There's a way that we can use the amount of taxpayers' money that's being spent right now more productively and efficiently. And again, reforming the welfare system to that 1 5-year window would be best. I also propose a 3 strikes and you're out type of a application. So for a woman that wants to have multiple children and live off of the welfare system, after your 3rd child, that's it. Father as well. So these are ways to where we can reform our welfare system, because it is an amount of debt that we're passing on to our children. We're not able to pay it ourselves, and we're taking it on as a whole to help those in need. So those that are receiving need to take some amount of accountability for their own actions and start working on them themselves. So this is a way that I feel like the system could definitely be reformed, and would be one of my main focus once I get into office within the first few years. I think it would definitely be done, but I feel like the more of a focus needs to be put on the welfare recipients in our government. We have politicians and government officials receiving $1 million salaries. Why? That's taxpayers' money being spent on government officials that need to be reduced significantly. So I'm offering, as governor of the state, as an example, and the leader of the state, I will reduce my own salary. The current governor receives $175,000 plus for the role of governor. I would do that for $99K, and make sure every other employee in the government is receiving that amount of pay and or less, depending on where they are. And I'm also open to a part-time government as well. Let's see. All right. I got about 15 minutes left. Mike Bafoa says, what will you do about crazy housing prices in California? As much as they make it seem like there's something I could do about it, there's really nothing I could do about it. There's nothing government can do to fix any of these problems, and that's what's wrong, people. We can't keep putting the responsibility on government to fix free market issues. This is a free market problem, and there needs to be a free market solution. So what I'm proposing is, if anything, to reduce the amount of property taxes that the people of California are paying. Right now that's 1%, and it's depending on that housing value. So and the majority of the homes in the state of California are 6 figures or more. So people are paying $500,000 mortgages. That needs to be reduced significantly. So I would drop the property tax rate to 0. Yeah. And I know a lot of people may gripe about that, but it definitely would be a way to reduce the amount of spending wasteful spending that the state does. Along with these tax cuts, we need to reduce the amount of wasteful spending that the government does. Remember, the money the government gets and spends, it gets from you, the taxpayers. So the less money it has to spend of yours, the less money it has altogether. And if we want to restrict the amount of power that they have and what they're wastefully spending on, all we got to do is cut the amount of money that they're actually receiving. And I'd be happy to do so. So, excuse me. Let's see. Let's go to the next question. I don't really think this has anything to do with my role as governor, but Johnny Ordeal asked another question, which is, what are your feelings on North Korea? I think we need to leave North Korea alone and let them be their own country. We're too busy focused on being antagonists and instigators in other regions of our world, where we need to focus on people right at home, those who need us the most. So there's actually been peace treaty talks between North Korea and South Korea. I just read a report where they actually came to an agreement, and you see them at the table shaking hands. So why are we having a more amicable and diplomatic approach to creating relationships, better relationships with other countries that we find to have extreme opposition with? We develop weapons. We shouldn't be preventing any other country from developing weapons or having the opportunity to protect. If we talk about we as individuals, as human beings, need to have our natural right to protect ourselves respected here in America by way of the Constitution, then we also need to respect that way and right of everyone else in the world. And I believe the best way for us to do so is to create more of a peaceful type of relationship, and to let them know that they're not a threat and we don't want to threaten them. And I believe, if anything, nuclear proliferation and getting rid of nuclear weapons needs to be on the table. I think that would be an incentive for every other country to follow suit and hopefully put all of us in a better world, to where we won't have to worry about dying over some nuclear holocaust someday. That's an awful reality. I don't think North Korea is a threat at all. I think everything by the media is propagandized to sensationalize people's response and get them excited about wanting to hurt someone. We respond out of fear as individuals. So as human beings, we need to focus on what connects us the most as people, and that is our love for one another. That is our care for one another. That's not our hate for one another. That's something that's going to divide us and keep us separated. And we want to unite the United States of America, and we want to unite the people of the world. And as the governor of California, I would do everything in my power to make sure that we can establish relationships by way of ambassadors with these other countries, to where we can open up trade talks maybe, and even some other type of relationship to maybe where we're doing a sponsorship program for any immigrants that they want to come here to work, where the person is being sponsored by the employer and taking full responsibility for that person's life, pretty much, to where if they happen to commit a crime, guess what? You're responsible. So these are many ways that we can reform our immigration system and expand the amount of freedom that we have as individuals on this planet. So let's get to another question. I'm ticking here down on time. Excuse me. All right. Bear with me here, guys. We're almost there. I'm clear. So Nickolas Smith asked me a question. He says, you have mentioned the California top 2 primary system, formerly Prop 14, in your email communications. How do you plan to make it into the top 2 vote getters? Do you support the ballot initiative to repeal the top 2 law? Absolutely. I would repeal the top 2 law immediately once I'm elected governor of California. It restricts the opportunity of, let me see if I can turn on here. Oh, no, my light went out. So it restricts the opportunity of the voters in California from being able to choose from opposing parties. If you don't know anyone out there, the state of California, we have a top 2 primary system where the top 2 candidates, regardless of party, if they get the majority of the votes in the June primary, they're the only 2 candidates that we all get to choose from in the November election. So I always will vote for someone else other than a 2-party candidate. So if that were to happen, that would definitely exclude me, as well as the majority of voters in California that disagree with the Democrats or Republicans. That would exclude the amount of undecided voters in the state. So what I plan to do is create an opportunity for the Libertarian Party again to steal this election. This is a great opportunity for us to win. Let me tell you why. The state of California has extraordinary low voter turnouts. With 40+ million people in the state of California, only about 3-5 million people show up to vote per election, and with primary elections is significantly smaller. And with this next election, it is expected to be historically low, simply for the fact that the Democratic candidates running are extremely unpopular and the Republicans are extremely unfavorable. So it's an opportunity for the Libertarians to come in and present that third-party option, that neutral position, that where the voters are getting the best of both worlds. They're getting that fiscal conservative, that's that, you know, I like to call it the picture. They think when you say fiscal conservative, that means a tightwad. I just think that's a smart tightwad. And it also gives an opportunity for those liberals in the state to feel more free and exercise their freedoms. We are all liberals in a traditional sense, because that is in essence what it means to be American. We want to be free. We want to be able to have our freedoms and be able to walk down the street without being interrogated. We want to be able to dress how we want to dress and speak how we want to speak, as long as we're not harming anyone and not have to deal with any type of oppression because of it. So I definitely, again, would like to have an opportunity for, or take advantage of the opportunity for the Libertarian Party of California to win in this election. 1 million votes will get me past the primary and will get me into the general election. So again, if we can get 1 million people out there to vote Libertarian in the June 5th primary, I assure you we will proceed through to the general election in November. It is possible, and if we can still the amount of disgruntled Democratic and Republican voters and get those undecided voters, as well as the 250,000+ members of that are 250,000 registered Libertarians in the state of California to actually vote, then we can win. So give me just a second. I want to turn on the light. All right. I think that's a little better. The sun is going down and I was using that natural light. So hopefully you guys can see me a bit better now. Excuse me. All right, my time is ticking down here, so I'm going to just answer a few more questions. Colin B.M. Wood said, how did the Hawaii situation very very uneasy. If we're relying on these people, again, like I told you earlier, the responsibilities that we delegate to government, they have proven time and time again that they are irresponsible, that they are incompetent of doing so responsibly. And that is a perfect example of it. This is a matter of people's protection. This is a matter of our defense system. This is a matter of our national intelligence. You mean to tell me it's just an oops? You just gonna oops? People are ready for their lives. They have, sirens blaring off in the street of, the nuclear siren. That sound is horrible. Have you ever heard that before? It's terrifying. So it's definitely alarming that our government has responded such a way and can have such incidents happen and not be held responsible. There's no accountability anymore, and somebody needs to step up to the plate to say, it was my fault, blame me. That usually tends to be those leaders. That wasn't done by the governor of Hawaii, of course, and then I'm pretty sure it damn near won't ever be done by the president. So it's awful that happened, and I would think it'd be terrible that would happen for any state in our union. I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Travis Hallman says, do you have future political aspirations after the California governor election? That's actually a really good question, because I've been getting asked that lately, and I've even been asked if I wanted to run in 2020 with Larry Sharpe. So I get thrown all of these ideas, and I'm kind of just digesting it all because politics is new to me. This is all just extraordinarily new. And I would love to just focus on becoming the governor of California first and proving my mettle and showing the people of the state, as well as the people of the country and world, how libertarianism works, how the Libertarian Party is the political solution that we're looking for. I know that Larry Sharpe is running for governor of New York, so I'm hoping that he definitely wins as well. It would be great for us to both be able to turn our states gold, both on the West Coast and on the East Coast. We'd be able to have tremendous opportunities to turn our states around, and I'm looking forward to every opportunity to do so. Were I encouraged to run in 2020 for any office position, I would be more than happy to, even if that is a ticket with Sharpe Wildstar or Wildstar Sharpe. We'll see who wins in June 1st. If I win, I get the top of the ticket. If he wins, he got the top of the ticket. But whatever. Either which way, I still will be advancing the cause of liberty. I still will be fighting for the Libertarian Party. I'm actually planning on getting involved with the Libertarian Leadership Academy and helping develop more leaders in the community that want to push the message of liberty and get people inspired about how creating a more freer society where we won't have to worry about government intrusion on who we marry or what we smoke or what we drink be in our lives. So there's wonderful, I guess, doors of opportunity that are being presented because of this, and I'm just thankful for them all, and am excited to be a part of this every step of the way. And I thank you all out there for being a part of this every step of the way. I hope that you will continue to be involved in this liberty movement. Win or lose, we'll be able to make a great, significant amount of noise in this next election. So let's take advantage of it and let people know about how there is a stronger party out there that is more representative, more of a greater representation representation of what the desires of we the people, the 99% of us, actually need. The whole 100% of us need. I mean, there's people that are receiving higher income salaries that still are struggling because of the high costs of living, and of course wanting to invest in their own future. They shouldn't be limited the opportunity for prosperity themselves either. So it's a matter of working together from the top down and from the down top and all around. We just need to focus on working together, and I am looking forward again to having the opportunity to do exactly that as the next governor of California. So let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up on that note. And since that was a great question, I'd like to segue to this, since it is MLK Day, and we are honoring one of our greatest civil liberty freedom fighters out there. I would like to end on this note, and it's a quote from Martin Luther King Jr., which says, "If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." And I think no matter what happens, we always must keep moving forward. I know times right now may seem difficult, they may seem dark, and they may seem a bit dreary, but we just need to focus on the light at the end of this tunnel, and I assure you it is there. I'd be happy to lead the way, and I would love to show you how we can fly once again with this Liberty Eagle, because it takes both the right wing and the left wing to fly. So let's take off in the name of liberty and spread the message of freedom across our country, and definitely first across the state of California. So please be sure to vote Libertarian and vote Wildstar for governor. Again, visit my website, wildstarforgovernor2018.com, or pardon me, that's the hashtag. Website is wildstar2018.com, wildstar2018.com. So please visit my website, take the Wildstar Challenge, get involved any way that you can. Thank you to everyone out there for watching. Thank you to all of you for submitting all of your questions. Please continue to submit them. I'd be happy to answer those one-on-one with my own Q&A with Wildstar series that I have on YouTube. And thank you to Ask A Libertarian for giving me this chance to have the public ask me anything. And I thank you all and implore you all to like the Ask A Libertarian page, and just be sure again to stay involved, all right? And I just want to thank you and let you know that I appreciate you all, and may the light of God and liberty shine on each and every one of you. Peace.